I see a lot of bands who have trouble playing shows outside their home market when they're just starting out. The problem is that they just don't know people in those cities, either other bands who can help them get shows, or fans who will come and see them. This makes them unappealing to promoters in those other cities. Hey everyone, my name is James, and this is the Better Band Bureau. There's a solution to booking shows outside of your hometown when you're not yet known. It's not the easiest, and it does take quite a bit of work, but it's very effective. Now, what is that? Well, it's booking your own shows. I don't mean reaching out to talent buyers and saying, hey, we want a show. I mean reaching out to venues and saying, we want to put on a show, we'll find the locals, we'll set everything up for you, all we need is the room. That way, their job is basically done for them. As long as they have trust in you and you can show that they should trust you, you can put together a great show with local bands who will help get fans out, and you will be in front of a new audience in a new city. Now, of course, I only recommend doing this if you can actually follow through on it, because if you don't plan or can't follow through, then it's just going to make your band look bad and potentially ruin a relationship with the talent buyer or the venue's booker. And, of course, make sure you don't play last. If everyone's there for the locals and you play last, chances are you'll be playing to an empty room. Don't have that ego where you have to be the headliner. Really, you should be somewhere in the middle. That way, the artists who are playing first, okay, maybe their fans left, but the crowd has also built up from people who couldn't be there at the start and are waiting for the actual headliner, whoever the local band playing last is. Ideally, you already know bands in the cities that you want to play because you played with them in your hometown, but if that's not the case, there is a way to find them. You've probably experienced cold sales calls at some point. You know, where a telemarketer hits you up and tries to sell you something, or you get an email from somebody that wants to work with you, something like that. And you're going to do essentially that same thing, but without being an annoying turd. What you're going to do is search through Bandcamp and Facebook for the city that you want to play. And if you do use Bandcamp, check out campexplorer.io, which lets you search multiple tags so you can search for genres and cities at the same time, which the regular Bandcamp site doesn't do very well. You're going to reach out to those artists and ask if they're interested in playing a show with you, give them your information so they can check out your music, and tell them when and where it would be taking place. Don't book anyone just yet. You really only want to see if people are interested in playing with you. Then, once you have 3 or 4 other bands who are interested, pick the best ones, let's say 2 to 3 bands total who are local, plus you, so 3 to 4 bands on the lineup, and put your lineup together with those artists. Of course, let the other artists down gently so you don't burn a bridge, and that way you can work with them in the future. Once you have the show booked, you have to actively work to promote it. Posting on social media once saying, hey, we're going to be playing in XYZ city on this date, that doesn't work. You have to actively engage people. And what's more, since you're the promoter of this show, you have to work with the other artists or the other bands and make sure that they're doing their part to promote the show as well. Because that's what a show's promoter is really doing. They're putting together the show and trying to make sure people show up. And a lot of bands are bad at making people show up. So as the promoter, you kind of have to hold a band's hand to get them to actually participate and engage and get people out to your show. That's probably the most difficult part of the whole process. Anybody can book a date at a venue and put some bands together. But getting people to cooperatively work together to promote a show, that can be pretty difficult. This is a huge topic with a lot of moving parts, and there's no one-size-fits-all solution, which is why I'm not going into more detail right now. But if you have any questions, leave a comment and I'll answer as soon as I possibly can. Last but not least, to show the venue's booker or talent buyer that you mean business and you can actually pull this off, you need to have a decent website. For quick tips, feedback, and thoughts on your website, go to my mailing list sign up in the description below and join the list. Then you'll get instructions for a free website critique where I'll shoot a video going over my thoughts of your website, what I think could be improved, and what I think you're doing well. Again, just go down to the description below to check that out, sign up, and get your free website critique now. And of course, like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. As always, I'll see you next Sunday, and keep rocking.